Good morning. Happy Hump Day. Wednesday, the 26th of January. Let's get mediocre, as we so often do. Um, 2 weeks ago today, I opined on the six openings at the time. We now have nine in National Football League. Kind of want to go into what my thoughts are at the moment on some of these, but I'll start with the newer ones. Um, and I'm kind of surprised it's taken this long. We're still, almost to the end of January, and none of them have been filled. Some of them are going about it the right way. They're putting the GMs first and then the head coaches, and then some of them are doing it bass backwards. Just kind of dumb. So let's go with the three that are open. Unbelievably, New Orleans is now an open job as of yesterday. 16 years in the job. Um, Head coach Sean Payton just stepped away. I guess he's tired. But let's talk about what one of the reasons why he might have wanted to do that is, because he and Gail Benson, very good relationship. They are $74 million over the cap. They're going to be doing a vicious rebuild, and he's probably not down for that. That's probably what it is. But I'm sure he's tired too, because he's an intense guy. The New Orleans job is going to do, though, it's going to require a rookie head coach, because nobody with head coaching experience, especially anybody of value, is going to want to go anywhere near that job. There's just no way. You're $74 million over the cap. You're looking at a multi-year project just to compete again. It's going to be a fire sale. Or like they say in Baltimore, it's going to be a flea market one. Take it. Take it as granted. It sounds just like that. Not my finest moment. But we'll move on. I would say Leftwich or Bieniemy or Mayo. This is where they should end up. They should not end up in other jobs where they're getting interviewed. They shouldn't be going for good jobs. They should be going for one like this. It's just the way it is. So I would think one of those three is going to get that position. Houston. Nick Casario is the GM there, and he is a New England refugee, and that makes Flores look like a really solid fit. They have a really good relationship from their time back in New England. Flores shouldn't have been on the market in the first place. Miami is stupid AF, as the kids say. I really think Flores is the one that should end up there. There are other people getting interviews, like Josh McDaniel and people like that. Just get rid of the suspense. Bring the guy in. Pay him what he wants. And he'll turn that team into a winner. Just the way it is. Las Vegas is the next one. They're interviewing people like Jared Mayo, who can't even run the linebacker group in New England to an elite level. But you're going to hand the keys to the kingdom to Jared Mayo. He's not ready. He's not ready to be a head coach. I have a feeling that if you're going to hire an assistant, it needs to be somebody with 20 years of experience as an assistant. Rich Bisaccia. If not Bisaccia, then there should be no assistant coaches being brought into that. Okay, period. So if it's not Bizzaccia, I think you bring in Peterson. Because I don't think Flores is going to be available. So to me, Bizzaccia is the right move. He really is, and I think he's going to be the one that's left standing when the music stops playing. And they better strike soon. That's the way I see it. That's a huge issue. You dilly dally. That's what's going to end up happening for you. I mean, it's just the truth of the matter. When there's 9 jobs, you better get busy. You better get busy. So for the old 6, the rancid plum in all those 6 is Jacksonville. Should be a plum job, but the problem is they don't seem to know what they're doing. When Jim Caldwell came in, said, "Hey, I'd like to coach." They didn't have to wait till the end of the season or the last 2 weeks of the season, to get interview requests granted. They could just hired him, and they should have. I don't think that enough. It's possible Caldwell wanted to see what his options were, but they don't. I don't get the impression that they were in a hurry, and they should have been. They're going to get leftovers now. Shad Khan's going to end up getting, if he doesn't get him or Flores or Peterson, he's going to end up with somebody that's some unknown. And it's going to go very badly in Jacksonville. And that's the way I see it. I see that as a wild card in all the bad ways. Not like making the playoffs. Because in Jacksonville, you know what they're going to be saying for many, many years if they get this wrong. Playoffs? Playoffs? They deserve better down there. And I would say that they have a franchise quarterback that needs help. They better get this right. Denver. Looking a lot like Dan Quinn's going to take over there. And that would probably be a good fit for Denver. But we shall see. I heard other people too, but I think Dan Quinn's the one that they seem to like the most. And that could be a good fit. Miami is a tough one to handicap. They had Flores. Okay? He carried a draft bust quarterback in Tua, like I've said before, to almost to the playoffs after a very bad start. So you just never know what they're going to do because, frankly, they're stupid. Actually, one of the biggest problems in Miami is ego. Okay, the ego of Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross thinks highly of himself, even though he can't manage his way out of a wet paper bag, and from a football franchise standpoint. Doug Peterson would be the best fit here, except that if I'm Peterson, I'm hearing echoes from his Philly exit. See, he only left Philly because Jeffrey Lurie went egotistical maniac and got rid of him after he brought in a Lombardi. Okay? It was all ego. Okay? If I'm an owner and I get a head coach who has an ego, let's say it was like Jimmy Johnson, with the Cowboys kind of situation. He's got a big ego. Yeah, but he brought me silverware. And I don't mean cutlery. I'm going to give that guy some leeway. You win me a natty, I'm okay with you. So some of these people, the ego has to be fed way too much. They need to be able to put the football people in charge and get the F out of the way. Stephen Ross is not capable of doing that. That is going to be a major problem for the Miami Dolphins. So Peterson would be great in that position. He could work with any quarterback and make them better, even Tua. Flores is a defensive-minded coach. Peterson comes from the magic tree of Andy Reid, where all coaches are great. But if I'm Peterson, I'm very, very skeptical of that job. But he would be very good in that situation. I think with a great defense, he comes in offensive-minded. He delegates well. He's got the temperament. And maybe, kind of like Buck Showalter in Major League Baseball, he mellows over time, and he can handle the egomaniacal owner who wants to meddle and be stupid and show his ass all the time, like Stephen Ross or Jeffrey Lurie. And you notice Jeffrey Lurie, when he got rid of him, brought in a no-name coach, Nick Sirianni. That goes in this. That's why I don't think it's going to be Peterson. Should be. Won't. It'll be somebody nobody knows. Because it has to be somebody who can be a cuck. It has to be somebody that will just swear to God at all times that Stephen Ross walks on water. This is what's going to happen. So that's the dynamic in Miami. It's not going to be about let's win. It's going to be about let's make Stephen Ross happy. You know, whatever wets his beak, whatever makes him happy. So, future's not bright there. It's just not. Next, the G-Men, New York. It's good that they're kind of cleaning house. I'd like to see them. To me, Flores is a possibility. That's what the fan base wants because they realize he's good. It would restore that defensive dominance that the G-Men were known for. Probably more likely they're going to get Brian Daboll from Buffalo or Jerod Mayo, which would be a colossal mistake because he doesn't really understand much of what he's doing yet. Like I said, linebacker coach, his linebacker core wasn't all that good. I think you'd have to be elite in a position grouping. I mean, he's not even a defensive coordinator. He's a linebacker coach. Do with that with what you will. And hopefully what you would do is go, "Guy's stupid." It's a direct quote. If he gets any job this year, WTF. Not the dopest. That's for you, friend of the show, Nick. But I will never be as lit. No. Chicago Bears. Stop, Bears. They're doing some smart stuff. And that took me by surprise. Really did. They hired a solid general manager this week from the Kansas City organization. And that was an extremely good hire. And it is sounding very likely that Jim Caldwell will be the next head coach. That is a solid move with a young franchise quarterback. Peterson's still possible. They were one of their early favorites, but it is looking very strong that Jim Caldwell is going to be the coach there, from the media reports and the insider reports. That would be an outstanding GM head coach partnership. And Caldwell's just a winner. He'll have them winning the division very soon, possibly next season. Minnesota, the Vikings, dysfunctional organization. But a good job. You're in a winnable division. You have a really nice roster. Enough cap space to make it work. Not sure who they're going to go after. They really need to set the tone from the GM down. They need to get a GM in place that's going to do well. You just don't know. You don't know who's going to end up in a position like that. There really haven't been a lot of rumors there. I have a feeling that like Jacksonville, in from the singular standpoint of they're going to get whatever's left, and possibly the same with Miami. It's just that, like I said, with Miami, the main thrust of their coaching search is to find someone who will lick his nuts, who will lick Ross's nuts. That is the job description of the head coach of Miami Dolphins at this point. Will you lick the owner's nuts? Yes. Do you know anything about coaching? I've read about it on in the newspaper. You're hired. That's the impression I get as the job search of the head coaching search in Miami. Hopefully they're going to do a better job than that with Minnesota. I think that they probably will. They've got a nice roster. They've got a competent quarterback. That's a job people should want. Okay. Wouldn't want to live there. If I could be in a warm weather climate, if I'm an elite coach, that's probably where I would be. Don't discount the possibility of a Jim Harbaugh sighting there. Because as much as Harbaugh is using this, in my opinion, to get money from Michigan, he also knows Ohio State's going to keep kicking his ass. He knows it. A manlet in an industry such as Harbaugh knows when he's owned. If he doesn't get owned by Ohio State, he's going to get owned by Penn State. He's going to get owned by Wisconsin. He's going to get owned by other organizations within the Big Ten, let alone going to the Natty. He knows he's at his high water mark. He's probably looking to escape. If not this year, when? So he doesn't have a chance in hell at the Las Vegas job. Unless the world is going to be turned on its ear. There's no way they should take him there. Don't see him in New Orleans because of the cap issue. He won't be in Houston. Don't see him in Jacksonville or Denver or Miami. One thing I can say about him, he doesn't like nuts. Owner's nuts. And he doesn't hold D's. Nuts. And Chicago looks close. So if he's going to get to the National Football League, I believe he will be as the coach of the Minnesota Vikings. But it's a wild card. It's a wild card shoot. We'll see what happens. My belief is Minnesota won't want to pay Harbaugh what he wants. He'll end up back at Michigan. But it wouldn't be a bad fit. Eccentric organization. Charitably, eccentric coach. Eccentric and just goofy AF. Very close. Not a fan. I've told you that before. But I think there's a pretty decent chance that he's in Minnesota or back at Michigan. And boy, will Michigan be sorry about that if he stays. They think he's an elite coach, which is amazing. 7 years just to beat Ohio State once. Embarrassed at the national semifinal. That's as good as it's going to get, Big Blue. That is as good as it's going to get. Period. Enjoy it when your calling card is running the ball all the time. You get semi-literate quarterbacks. You're basically trying to be Wisconsin. You're just going to run the ball all day? Wisconsin gets better offensive line talent than you do. How are you going to get out of the Big Ten? You get behind more than a score or two in a game. How are you going to win any games? Oops. I'm the quarterback whisperer. They can't get a quarterback that's any good. Since Luck. You're special. So yeah, I don't think he should be in the NFL at all. I think he should be home fishing. But he'll either be in Minnesota or at the University of Michigan. And as a Penn State fan, keep him in Michigan. Please, keep him there. I love Jim Harbaugh being a Michigan coach because that's one team that we know we're not going to have to worry about. The Big Ten. We just keep worrying about Ohio State. So thanks, boosters. We appreciate that. Keep them there. Make them happy. It's good for Penn State. So that's about where I am. Now, for a chaser today, we'll talk about the weekend that was. We almost, it was the first time in the divisional round of the playoffs that all 4 games were won on the final play or overtime. The first 3 were all won by field goals. And the 4th one went to overtime. Some of the best football ever. Really was. I'll say this, I do think they need to change the overtime rule from the Bills Chiefs game. Team scores a touchdown, just like if you go down and score a field goal, the other team gets the ball. They should do that with the touchdown as well. They really should. You fight to a draw through 60 minutes. The coin flip should not run who wins in a shootout, or even if it's a defensive, type of thing. You shouldn't have the luck of the draw. You're instantly, because of something completely based on luck, putting the odds dramatically in favor of whoever wins that coin toss. Does it mean every single time they're going to win? No. But enough of the time that let's do something different. That's a couple extra overtime sessions. So be it. So freaking be it. If the game's that good, more good game, more gooder. You're welcome. Solved. It's like much of the stuff that I talk about, where I solve the world's problems in a way that nobody else will, because apparently they like the drama and the dysfunction. I like solving stuff. So we'll see who wins in the conference championship games. I think you're going to have a really good game in KC. I think Burrow goes in there. I actually think Burrow could win that game. I think Cincy could go to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be tight. Burrow's just got an it factor. And he's a winner. He just is. KC is a very good team. Can't stand them, but they are very good. Andy Reid is a special coach. That's going to be a war. That's a pick 'em. But I do give Cincy, for a roadie, a very good chance in this one. In the other one, I didn't think Tampa Bay was going to go down. I didn't think Tampa was going to go down at all. But I actually think that the interesting thing is when you've got lower seeds now than normal, it's unexpected and it's a wild card as it is. But San Fran going into SoFi, I think the Rams are the most balanced team in the NFL. I think they can do a lot of things to disrupt what is a middling offense that San Fran trots onto that field. Both the defenses are disruptive. Matt Stafford's the difference, and he is playing lights out. This is his shot. I think the Rams are in the Super Bowl. If I had to guess, it's the Rams hosting the Super Bowl. Second straight year, the host city is in the Super Bowl. I would think that they will be hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. That is my hope. It's about a 50-50 thing in the AFC, like I said, but I do think the Rams will win and go to the Super Bowl. And we'll talk about the Super Bowl when that happens, but that's where I'm seeing it. So hope you have a nice Wednesday. Happy hump day in every way, shape, or form. And I will holler at you on Friday. I'm going to try and do, I think, an NBA. Either an NBA or an all around the sports world kind of update. But it might be the NBA. There's some stuff percolating there. So I will holler at you guys on Friday, if at all possible. But before I do, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the ringy dingy say all, and then spread this video far and wide. Sharing is caring, and I need all the caring that I can get. Peace out, me homies. See ya.